Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and we are here with Star Wars Orders, and we are back with the very interesting situation. I've been away for a while because I've been kind of ill lately and, you know, struggling with other things. Just life situations and mental health and a few other bits and pieces. So, sometimes life hits you pretty hard, but I'm kind of back, trying to get back in the swing of things with this save. One of the issues I'm having is that I'm really struggling to figure out what's next for these horses because the 2-year-olds again look good, but then I look at the 3-year-olds we've got, and we're just not really making much progress. We look at a Tertian Apprentice, and okay, we can ignore the Kentucky Derby. That's kind of an understandable race, but the Bluegrass we didn't do well in. That's a second round. We got the Withers. That's a third tier race, really. Grade 3, grade 2, not winning. We did win at a mile 2, so I'm guessing a mile 2 is our distance, and that's just too much. But like, I just don't feel like I have that much confidence in a horse that has good stats and not that much away from, say, other Kentucky Derby winners, or at least ones that have placed in the top 3 in a Kentucky Derby. But it feels like the horse is a lot further away than that. So I'm kind of not sure if it's for Vindication. Kind of just the same deal, really. At least we know that we can kind of earn some money in grade ones, but we didn't get close to winning the Arkansas Derby. Top 5. How much was that? 20 grand? I mean, some short heading. We could have got up to third, which is, 100,000, which would be, of course, a lot better. And then here fifth, and again short-headed out. We got third with Snadsvelta, and yeah, we could have easily have got third with Fistful Vindication as well. But it's just kind of weird. I'm just so unsure, uncertain of kind of how to run those. I think it's well that I'm more comfortable with because we've won a grade one. We I think that's the thing. We've won a couple of grade twos. That's right, a couple of grade threes. We've won a grade two. We've won a grade one at the Futurity, which is not a bad one to pick up either. Um, that's not bad at all. But like, yeah, the Florida Derby, we weren't really in it. I think it's far more impressive to get third here in the Kentucky Derby than it was to get second in the Florida. Um, we short-headed Tory out in that one. So again, I feel that maybe Snadsvelta is a mile 2 horse for sure. I just feel like that makes sense to me the way we're running, um, and the jockey feedback as well. And I feel like Fist of Vindication might be an okay 1 mile 1 horse, and then the other three I'm just not convinced about at all for some reason. It's really strange. 5E again finished bottom of the pack. Kentucky Derby, don't care, but also finished last in the Santa Anita Derby, and that's a lot more kind of damning for me. We're missing the break. I don't know. I think maybe we've won a grade 1 there, so we know there is some quality. And Zainab Morton is another one finished really low back. I just don't know with this one. But I kind of want to think 1 mile 1. And I've got no idea with 5e. I've got no idea. So I think for me, it's finding the right races now. It is finding the right races. So I'm thinking, what can we do at 1 mile 1 that's not the Preakness? Yeah, the answer's gonna be not much, is it? The answer's gonna be not much at all. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is so weird for me because I really I didn't think we'd win the Kentucky Derby, but like otherwise I wouldn't have put all those horses in. I just I did kind of expect more. Say Turgeman, I don't know. I don't know. We're definitely 1 mile 2, I think. There and then like what is 5e? I'm thinking 1 mile 1. I'm thinking about 1, but I'm not entirely convinced. The horse may not have faced the kickback. Like I don't really know exactly what that means. You know, this the thing I think of is the kickback's just the turf being cut up in front, or the dirt being cut up in front of you, and kind of like kick back at the horse. It didn't enjoy that, but like the wording of it is interesting. It may not have faced the kickback. Does that mean that it may not have faced it before, and so it was new, and so that hindered the horse? Does it mean that there's a chance that it didn't face the kickback during this race, which would have helped it, and it was slightly angled, so it was getting hit by more of the kickback rather than facing it, narrow profile? I don't think that's it, but like the language used could certainly be that. Does it just mean that we've got to go and run as a pace setter so we don't have to deal with kickback? Or is it more of a dirt thing? It doesn't like loose ground being kicked up, but it may be on grass, on turf. It won't face that kickback, and it'll be better. So don't run in mud, don't run on dirt. Like it's such a weird kind of thing where again, I'm kind of just tempted to send at 1 mile 1. There is the game lead. There is the game lead. Uh, But then again, this is a grade 1 winner too, right? So yeah, look, this should be a good horse. This should be a good horse. Do we just send Ortiz on this? Run the both of them? I think so. I think this gives us an idea, at least. But I don't love it. I really don't love it. Normally a top 3 in the Derby, I'd be running in the Preakness, but I think I've got other questions. And because I got other questions, I don't think there's really that much point. Just to see if we can get top 3 in the Preakness on Snatsvelter, where we didn't really run a mile 1 good, so we're probably running under distance. And there's also the question of the Belmont, which I just don't know if we've got any horse that should be running that. It's such a weird place to be. It's such a weird place to be. Okay. I feel like I got 3 mile 1s and 2 mile 2s. That's kind of what I feel. And I feel like running the Gamely might be best for Morton. So 2 in the Preakness. Terjman will go in the Charles Whittingham. And then Zaynab Morton will go in the Gamely. And we're just resting Snatsvelter. Because we need to. And then the only other one really that needs some work here is going to be Substance Small, where we're quite a way back, won't we? Big Z doesn't look bad. It looks like it should win a grade 3. It looks like it should win a grade 3. Won the maiden, okay. Stayed on same pace. Got distance. I'm just wondering though, is that worth a 6? There aren't any 5s anyway. That might be worth a test. Everyone else has won. We've got a mile for Poppets. Or would that be a 7 furlong? It might be a 7. We do have one of those, just a base grade 3. And I don't think really there's much else in terms of 2-year-old races right now. So Snatsvelder runs the best in Derby, but doesn't go into the Preakness. It feels wrong to me, but it makes so much sense in that I kind of understand that horse, and I'm trying to figure out others. So yeah, like that's going in the breeding barn anyway. We're definitely breeding Svelter with everybody. That's fine. And if 5e and Zane had to go into the barn because they've got really good stats and we should breed from them anyway. These two are more just like, do we just retire them out? that's kind of, I think, where I'm at. So those are the questions we're asking today. So yeah, we'll kind of see where we're at. The sales, anything interesting? There's a bunch of 2-year-olds we don't know, so we might check back on the 12th then for that. See, there's a second one in there. Oh, grade 3 dam. Grade 3 dam. Breeding indication showed that was a 5 furlong horse. I don't want really more short order horses. I think it's right to kind of back off that one, if that makes sense. Yeah, like anytime I see claiming races, I'm just kind of done. It's got some distance to it. Maybe it's okay. Yeah, you kind of want to see like maybe a maiden and an allowance race, but they just don't go up for sale. They just don't go up for sale. Grade 2 sire. There is that. Another one there. Yeah. I mean, it may just be me, but I just really don't like those 2-year-olds. I really don't like the 2-year-olds. Okay. So you got your grade 3. Where's your grade 3? A Gulfstream. Yeah. That's a 305. And then the 545 for the Preakness. Okay. Oh, let's go in. Let's go in. Is it 305? Here we go then. So, definitely a solid field. Chips won a grade 3. Well, they got the slight weight penalty. Top rated, top graded, 100%. Steed Protector looks good. I understand why those are the top two in terms of favorites. And then it's us with Distinguished Bruet, who didn't win a maiden. I mean, at least we won a maiden comfortably. But when we got beat at 5 furlongs, we got beat by Chip Prospector, and we beat Noosa Executive. So the one we beat's right down here. The two that beat us were up there. I guess that's kind of fair. Ooh, we get moved down a little bit as well. Okay. Well, normally I wouldn't sort of watch this, but again, this is one that's not make or break. I don't want to say make or break, but like for me to understand this horse, I kind of need to know how they run and compare that against the 5 furlong run and just have some kind of idea. So we got the red and black, we got the gold with white arms. Those are the two I'm more worried about. Both on the inside, we're on the outside. Looks like we're out okay. And then Steed Protector goes to the front. We're on the front, on the outside, and Chip goes towards the rear on against the rails. Okay, we are kind of leading this on the shoulder of Ashes Kando, who actually came through and did quite well to come up the betting. Here comes Steed. Here comes Chip. They've beaten us at 5. They're beating us at 6. I feel that was a solid run. I don't feel that was a good run. It didn't look like we dwelt. Apparently we dwelt. So that would have probably put us close to Steed. Steed didn't have much room, so that may be... Yeah, it's really tough to evaluate that one. I think we're definitely a 6 furlong. We're definitely a 6 furlong. So, yeah. Yeah, so it's so interesting. So interesting. Towery, like, so many people here are in this race. It's going to be interesting between Fistful and Towery. Snar's not in here. So many good horses. So many good horses. I just can't even like overanalyze it and really like think about it too much. Towery's this second horse from the front here, getting off to a decent start. We're going to go towards the middle of the pack then, just kind of sit in behind those leaders. Towery is going to go up to the front and drop back now alongside us. We've got Fistful now in second, just behind Maisutofum and Batista. Now we've both got horses, both our horses back side by side. Okay, there's a gap to run. Looks like 5E's falling off. And with 1 furlong to go, we're kind of contesting the lead ahead over Brooks Toss. Here comes Towery Audience. 0.3, 0.2, 0.1. Oh, headed on the line. That's an interesting one. So, Towery Audience is your Preakness winner. The steward's inquiry. Maybe not. Maybe there's a chance. Yeah, they got through. Okay. Yeah, just head it out. 5e falling off is so interesting to me because I really felt this could be a mile one, and despite that jockey feedback, I just don't believe it now. I believe that's another sort of mile two. It's so tough. It's so tough to evaluate when you've got a good horse with really good stats that are almost indistinguishable from your horses that win these big feature races. And then they come dead last. Like, dead last something that I need to, at least I can understand that to a certain degree, missing the break, everything. Like, I can understand that. Kentucky Derby, I can understand that. But then 8th in the Preakness at a better length. It's just like, there's a little pattern emerging. And if we can't win good feature races, and we can only win non-prestigious and kind of like get the easier grade ones, I don't really want to run when I could run Fist for Vindication and at least have a shot at better grade ones. So yeah, yeah, it's kind of strange, but like we this season, first, 7th, 9th, 19th, and 8th. Just not where you want to be. Ton of potential, good constitution, good confidence, decent cruising burst, good extra speed, full finish application, a little bit of distance adaptability, not much. Consistency is low, but not super low. Surface adaptability is full. Deterioration isn't high enough. It does seem to be maybe just a combination of the enthusiasm and consistency. Maybe that's it. Compare that to Vindication. He's got, a little bit more enthusiasm and a lot more consistency, but low confidence. I just think Breeding Barn. I think Breeding Barn, and we see what Zaynab Morton does, and if it's not a good run here, then again that's Breeding Barn. And we just be done. And we run Snartsvelter at a mile 2. We run Fistful Vindication at a mile 1, and we might get rid of Tershman as well, depending what they end up doing in their race. Yeah. I just feel more comfortable that way. So let me know if you think any differently on that, if you would judge it any other way. But I don't just want to win grade 1s for the sake of grade 1s. I want to win good races and be competing for the top end. So just where we're at. We've got no 3 left for Krabbies. So we're going to get Marisa in. She's got distance. She does have distance. Okay. Yeah, and then we'll just see. We'll keep breeding with Krabbies this season. And like I say, there's a shot that we just breed with Snardsvelta next season. Although that lack of confidence worries me, that potential is just like far too tempting. Do you know? Everything else is really good. So yeah. Yeah, this kind of a weird one. It really is kind of a weird one. It is kind of a weird one. I don't want to overreact, but at the same time, I also don't want to spend a ton of time trying to figure things out. If you can't go and compete in these races, then I don't really want to persevere. Yeah, this is another weird one. So grade 2, we've got some grade 2 winners, and the weights are based off that. So we've got a decent weight advantage. There's 2 ungraded horses that are the same weight as us. Technically, you got the £3 allowance for the mares over the stallions. So they're running at 9, we're running at 9.3. And then it looks like, well, the majority is running at 9.6. So that's for them being a 3-year-old that's won a grade 2. And then for being a 4-year-old, I guess is a £6 penalty. And so that takes ungraded Somani 4 up to 9.9. And then the 4-year-old penalty and the grade 2 penalty put Shona Habit up to 9.9. And the other 3 up to 9.12. Yeah, that makes sense to me. So it's a £3 penalty if you've got a grade 2, maybe grade 2 or above. Maybe there's a higher penalty for grade 1, but we don't have any in the race. So it's a £3 penalty for a grade 2 And it's a £6 penalty for a 4-year-old. That's fine. Can we make that extra weight count? I don't know. I really don't know. Undulating track out of the chute, across the dirt track, and then onto the course itself. Again, I just don't know kind of how to judge this or who I should be looking out for in this race. Don't think we had a bad start. Didn't seem to be a great start. We're up against the rail, middle of the pack. And we'll see if we get blocked off. Do we get a clear run here? Looks like we're okay at the moment, just up the inside of Mayfair's precedent. But the majority in Dow's home. Right there, we kind of moved to the outside. Looks like we got a lane to run. And now we're dropping back before the turn. And I mean, don't think we're going to come dead last because Somani 4 seems to be like way out of it. But stumble to start. And then first, yeah, if we're beaten by better horses on a grade 2, is there anything to keep you around for? No, I don't think so. I really don't think so. So yeah, okay. I kind of feel comfortable. Yeah. Okay, let's see what's available. Probably not much. The grade 3, grade 1, Queen's Plate. We gotta go for it. I think we gotta go for it. There's only a grade 2 there. Okay. Okay. That would be a good race to run. Yeah, that's annoying. That is annoying. Let's just run grade 2. I don't know about a grade 2. I don't really want to go to Ascot with these horses. I just might do at this point. Like, I just might do. We just don't have much else. Okay. This is going to be Santa Anita. Yeah, for the Gamley. This is. Such a tough race. Such a tough race. We should get obliterated here. So, yeah, it's kind of a test. I don't expect to win this. I don't think we should win this, even if we're a really good horse. I feel like we'll be third, fourth, fifth. That's kind of what I'm looking at here. So it looks like we're okay away. Not a bad start. Good release. And then we just see how this race goes. Like I say, I think it's definitely a race we can come dead last in. And I doubt we can get the win. High point probably third. Realistic low point kind of where we're running though, a couple of places off the back. Looks like a 2 furlongs. We're in a decent place. But have we got any kick on? Have we got some kick on? Okay. Not a ton. I'll say we're in fifth. Yeah, just kind of roughly what I thought we might be. End up getting fourth because they got disqualified. I can't really count that. I can't really count that. 3.5 lengths back. 109 up to 117. Really fifth. Really. Gonna pick up at the end, so that's another mile 2, right? Okay. Um. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Maybe that's last chance. Ooh, grade 1 winning. Damn. I don't love the horse. I love the breeding. I don't love the horse. They're both interesting. They're both interesting. I shouldn't be bidding. I think they're both not going to turn out to be good enough. But they are both interesting. So I kind of want to see what they are. And just, is there anything there? So decent conditions runner, good breeding. Is finish application away. That's what it is. It's finish application away. It's not a bad one. Like if you're starting out, that's not a bad horse to run though. And Charmer Duck, yeah, no finish application either. That's not an amazing one. Let's see Poppets run. We don't know the field. It's a 2-year-old field. I feel 7 furlongs is right, but we might not be correct on that. Against the rail, looks like a little bit of a slowish start before throwing ourselves forward. So if we win this, I think it's going to be purely quality of horse. This isn't a great run. So we're increasing the distance before the turn. People are getting in position off the turn. And then the pack's falling back a little bit. Remedy, Galadriel coming up at pace. Looks like Grandel Merit is there as well. We are just kind of holding that distance. Now we're starting to go, and yeah, this is quality of horse. Pulpits is a good 2-year-old. Doesn't always translate to a 3-year-old, but that's such a good win off a pretty mediocre to poor start. That's purely, for me, that's purely the quality of that horse. Absolutely fantastic stuff. So, got a grade 100, fill potential, everything you want to see. I say decent enthusiasm, cruising burst confidence, full finish consistency, great distance adaptability. It's way too early to be talking about this. But this could be a Triple Crown winning horse. This could be a Triple Crown winner. Yeah. Got the distance wrong. Big win in the maiden. Even though we got the distance wrong, we were down far behind. And then, yeah, we go from good to firm, which it likes a fast track. It wins that maiden at its distance comfortably on a muddy track. And then we're back on a good surface. Didn't start particularly well, but got a big graded win by 4 lengths. We're seeing that early quality. We've got some really good stats. That speed acceleration is going to be interesting next season, see if that changes at all. If we can get anywhere near 85 to 90 potential next year, with that distance adaptability, I just think that's the shot. I do. I really do. Okay. Big 2-year-old sale coming up. Let's see. Faded at a 5. Okay. Faded at a 5. Wonder if that's a 6 and it didn't really fade. And the reason I'm buying horses like this that I'm like not sure on as well, it's pretty much just that I'm trying to learn as well. I'm trying to get better at spotting horses and trying to figure out kind of how I'm doing things. So 1.7. I would have guessed 5, but it could be a 6. Could just be absolutely terrible too. Okay. Yikes. Yikes. Yeah. Okay, into the sales and oop, graded horse. Nobody else has got a high rating. Nobody else has got a grade. I don't love this, but if we're gonna get a horse, it'll be this one. I wasn't expecting it to go quite this high. That's fine. 1.5. I do feel sometimes you're better off getting weird horses like this to breed rather than horses elsewhere. And yeah, no finish, but back in the day, this horse could go. I think it's past its best, and I don't really feel like breeding will be a good idea there. So let's just go to the next race. Don't love those. Don't love going to Ascot. Don't love going to a grade 2. Don't love unraced horses. But up against Frankie the Tory. That's the horse I'm going to be judging this against. The blue with the yellow hat. And we're off. And we're lagging towards the rear. Okay. Decent. Got a little bit of a run on. 2 furlongs. We're heading out Frankie. We got challenges from deep though. Here comes, what's this, Reporter and Launch. I thought they were going to blow past. They didn't quite, but now they're getting the legs. And we got a shot here at second. Do we have a shot at first? Late challenges. So interesting. That is a 2-year-old. Going to Ascot over 6 furlongs in a grade 2, beating out the Frankie Dettori horse. Getting short-headed for second after getting up on Goodness Launch and being within half a length of the winner. Wallace songs could be pretty good. That's my issue. See, I get excited about the 2-year-olds because they tend to run better. They tend to be a little more consistent, a little more predictable. When they've got good stats, I can pretty much pick a winning pathway for them. Those 3-year-olds, though, that's what it sometimes falls apart. But I think that's a great run. Poppet's impressive. Wallace Song's impressive. Tourists, when we got them on their distance, very impressive in a maiden. And Leinster, solid maiden. We kind of need to test them, I guess. This was such a weird one. I now just don't think this is the right horse to run there. I think we test Leinster. And we understand that there's a good chance that something small just isn't going to make it next year and probably just goes into the breeding barn. And we see if we got any legs to run Leinster next season. Probably not really. But if I'm just going in with pulpits, songs, and maybe tourist, I'm probably happy next year anyway. Because I like all those. I don't think that's bad. I don't think that's bad. Just wonder if there's any reason in the world. Oh my Jesus. Stamina bar out of nowhere. Pulpits. Okay. With that distance adaptability. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, no, I feel more comfortable doing this. I feel more comfortable doing this. Is there a race to book? Haskell over Prince of Wales. I don't fancy running against Tauri audience, but they're in both. Go for the more difficult one out of those. I think that's just kind of fair, to be honest with you. That's just kind of. Whereas I'm going to worry about the 2-year-old auction. I'll miss the 2-year-old. I just don't feel like they've been particularly good. So that's whatever. Okay, Churchill Downs, and then the pair at Woodbine. kind of want, I kind of want this to work out. I feel like this is an almost horse. It's almost good enough. It's almost there. It's not quite. There's no excuses. There's 4 horses. I didn't realize it was a small field, but like now you just kind of just it's you, 3 other horses. It's all about your quality. It's all about how much you want to win. You're not really going to get blocked off. You're not going to get interfered with. You're going to have a lane to run. Everyone's going to pick their strategy and just run with it. So we'll see coming off that bend. I don't feel like we got into position that quickly. We're down to the final furlong. We'll see if we got any kick on. If we can really challenge. Looks like we're slowly moving up. But unless we've got a great half a furlong to end it, we're not going to catch the winner. And we don't. In fact, I think, yeah, we didn't even quite get up to third. So we're improving our rating, but we're just not doing much. So I think that's the end of their season. Really, that's gotta be the end of their season. I see, it's felt I could do any better. Not gonna look at the field. Don't really care. Want to know how we run, and we're off quite decently. We're away to the front. I'm just gonna fall back into that chasing pack alongside Classic Parks. Got Tauri on our inside as well. No, Tauri's up ahead of us. Okay. Who's that? Into Babylon's on their inside. So, yeah. That's the only horse we know is Tauri's audience. So we're running a wide bend to get into a good position. I don't mind that. Towery's got a much easier run, and then it's got that initial burst. But it doesn't look like they're going to win. Looks like we're going to fall off. Okay. Didn't love that for us. Really, really didn't love that. Oh boy. These 3-year-olds, man. They're close, but so far. They're good, but not great. They're in this uncanny valley of, like, maybe being okay, and maybe not. Oh, we lost so much ground there. And there's no kick on. There's no kick on. Okay. 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 Um. She goes to stud. Yeah, this is so interesting. Substance small, I'm not loving. Silence Leinster, I'm not loving. I do think Poppins is good. Songs is surprisingly good. And Tourist is the one we need to test. I'm almost happy to do that. You never know what you got as a 3-year-old, but I just, yeah, I don't need to walk in with like a 3-year-olds trying to figure things out. The less we've got, the less competition for races, the more chance I've got to really improve those horses and call shots with my jockey on it rather than spreading out jockeys as well. So kind of done with Poseidon's Leinster. And I think it's about being ruthless in those ways. We've got 3 2-year-olds, we've got 2 3-year-olds, and we've got ourselves a decent breeding program working on. And it's basically after this, it's only the 3 that we just sent to the breeding barn. It's 5-year designer, then it's substance small. And there's a part of me that just kind of wants to do something differently. Get everybody bred. So yeah, I think that's where we're going to leave off, guys. I'm very interested to see what you guys think about all of this and kind of how I've gone about today. But I think there's so many questions on the 3-year-olds that stripping those down to just the 2 that have run well this season, I think that's key. So yeah, we're not really worrying over those 3-year-olds anymore. We weren't close in the Triple Crowns. We kind of ran okay. We got a 3rd place with Snatsvelta. We got a 5th place with Fistful Vindication in the Kentucky Derby, and then a 2nd place in the Preakness with Fistful Vindication. There is a Canadian race we just booked into. the only one we got booked. So that'll be interesting. We'll kind of see how we run there. And again, Snatsvelta, we'll see how they run too. But I do think those are the best 3-year-olds we had. And even though they weren't top quality and they weren't Triple Crown level, really, we are very close to both of them. I felt we're very close to both of them. And we could probably win a bunch of grade ones with those. And maybe we'll breed from one or both moving forward. And like I say, I love Poppets. I'm impressed by Moala songs. And then got a Tourist. Like, just that maiden kind of makes you think that there's something special there. And so we'll get our breeding program done for the season. We'll test Tourists. We'll try and get them all above 100 rated with a grade 3, at least under their belt. And then we might just put Poppets and Tourists in the breeding barn as well. Like, if Tourists could win a grade 3, maybe they both go into the breeding barn. We'll breed from them this year. And then start of next season, we'll pull those two back out to race alongside Moala songs. That might be the idea. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. As always, I think a slightly below par year, disappointing year. But yeah, I'm feeling really confident again with our 2-year-olds. And I think smaller numbers works best for me. So I'm not confusing my booking. And I'm not really spreading too much around. I can kind of cherry pick what is best for each horse and get them ready for those big races. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed a little more than maybe I did watching some of those races. But yeah, have your opinions. Did I do things right? Did I do things wrong? Was I too hasty, too harsh? I definitely think there's an argument for that out there. I think it makes sense to me, which is good. That it's got to make sense to me. But I'm interested to see kind of what you would have done, how you would have handled it, and what do you think about 2-year-olds? Those 3 that we've got left. I think Poppins is kind of the no-brainer. But like Moala Songs winning the way they did in their maiden didn't really super impress me, but it was a solid win. And then kind of an impressive run at Ascot. That's kind of am I being too high there? And then Gillette Torres, like I say, we still got a test, but like that maiden, does that mean anything to you guys? Like over 8 lengths? Surely that's something. Surely. So yeah, let me know. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Stay safe. And I wish you all the best of luck. God knows we all need it sometimes.